Hello, I'm Yan. I'm in Shenzhen, Guangdong province, on a street that has two political systems. Capitalism on my left-hand side, communism on my right-hand side. And that, you see over there, is the boundary marker. Yes, I'm in the village in Shenzhen that's bordering Hong Kong.
Generally speaking, Shenzhen and Hong Kong are divided by the Shenzhen River. But on the east side, a small piece of land to the southwest side of the river is within Shenzhen's territory. Therefore, there is a boundary on the land. The boundary is a street called Zhongying Street, which translates to China-British Street. This area is called Sha Tau Kok. It has been a restricted area for different reasons since 1952. Currently, it's because products sold in the area is duty-free. We can only come here once every 30 days. This is the entrance for vehicles, and the entrance for visitors is next to it. I scheduled a visit on the WeChat app the previous night. It required no supporting document, and the request was approved instantly. For me, it felt the same as scheduling a visit to a museum. After coming out from here, we're inside Sha Tau Kok. On the Shenzhen side, there is a big duty-free department store. On the Hong Kong side are small shops. At the point where the street bends is the Sha Tau Kok border crossing. It's for local residents only. Not only I'm not allowed to enter, but also Hong Kong residents not living in this area, because the area in the Hong Kong side, including the Sha Tau Kok Sea, is a frontier closed area. To enter this area is not like scheduling a visit to a museum. It requires a guarantee from residents living inside the closed area. So up until my visit in 2023, it is still a mysterious area. Near the border crossing, there is a boundary stone. It's the boundary stone number 3. Currently, there are 7 boundary stones on the street, spreading from the entrance to the street all the way to the coast.
This is boundary marker number 1. On this side it says Anglo-Chinese boundary 1898, number 1. And on the other side it says Zhongying 地界第1号。
The Zhongying Street Museum of History next to the boundary stone number 1 tells us the story of the street. In 1898, the Qing government of China was forced to sign the Convention respecting an extension of Hong Kong territory. The next year, British Commissioner, Colony Secretary of Hong Kong, James Stewart Lockhart inspected the landscape with the Chinese commissioner and marked the boundary. The Zhongying Street Museum is located at the place where these people were standing. Notice on the photo, the initial boundary marker was a wooden post. This photo taken in 1899 was probably the earliest photo taken at the boundary. In the museum, there is an old photo of a trail. The note next to it invites visitors to take a photo in front of it. This trail was the Chung Street. Zhongying Street was originally a small river flowing to the Sha Tau Kok Sea. The river dried up and the riverbed became a trail. Local residents named it Luci Trail and built houses on both sides of it. In the first half of the 20th century, the boundary stones didn't affect the life of the locals much. The women in the photos all wore a distinctive outfit. That's the outfit of Hakka women. The local residents are Hakka who migrated from north or northeast Guangdong province in early 18th century. When the boundary was marked, they had lived here for 2 centuries. The clans on both sides were closely knit. As old photos showed, they basically ignored the boundary stones. Near the entrance of the Zhongying Street, there is a well dating back 3 centuries. It's located on the Shenzhen side. Before running water was available, residents on the Hong Kong side would cross the Zhongying Street to this well to fetch water. This was the border crossing. It's this place near boundary stone number 3. The Hakka woman on this photo carried a lot of farm produce. Let's read the notice board erected at the border crossing. The authorized crossing point at Sha Tau Kok Market is the international boundary between boundary stones 1 and 8. So there was a market on the Shenzhen side that attracted those Hakka women from Hong Kong side to buy and sell farm produce. It seems like some of them even took a bus here. In the 19th century, over 50 Hakka villages formed an organization called 10 Covenants in this Bay Area. The 10 Covenants established a big market in Sha Tau Kok. On the Shenzhen side, Sha Tau Kok was basically a Hakka village plus the Donghe market, which was one of the 4 largest markets in Shenzhen. After the Donghe market was completely destroyed by a hurricane in 1937, a smaller market was formed near the original one. That's the Sha Tau Kok market. Because of the 2 markets, Sha Tau Kok had been a very prosperous place for over a century. That's why there were a lot of nice veranda-style buildings on the Zhongying Street. This is a widely spread photo of Zhongying Street. It was taken in October 1949 by Jack Burns of Life magazine. In that month, the nationalist troops were defeated and fled to Hong Kong. Communist-led troops took over Shenzhen. It was the first encounter of British Hong Kong policemen with soldiers from the communist troops. In 50 years, the counterparty of the British changed from the soldiers of the Qing government to nationalist soldiers, and now it's the communist troops. Many people took this photo as a symbol of Cold War. But another photo showed this first encounter actually ended up with a handshake. Meanwhile, on the other side of the border, the British troops were on the highest alert. They thought the communist troops would cross the border. That didn't happen, but confrontation did start soon. In 1950, the Hong Kong government issued curfew on the Hong Kong side of Sha Tau Kok. A year later, frontier closed area order was issued. In 1952, the Shenzhen side also became a closed area. But residents within the closed areas on both sides could still cross the border. This was a photo of Hakka women shouting to her relatives at the other side of the bridge. What happened? With Hong Kong's economy taking off in the 1960s, residents from mainland tried every method to go to Hong Kong. The villages in Shenzhen were almost empty, with only old people and kids left. Those from the Hakka villages near Sha Tau Kok found a way to meet their family left at home. They would come to the bridge in Sha Tau Kok and talk to their family from afar. The old ones and the kids were waiting for them outside the checkup station on the other side of the bridge. Their conversations were recorded. Let's listen. It's sad they had to meet their family this way. But they were actually the lucky ones. At least they could still meet their family. During the 1960s to 1970s, the total number of mainland residents living for Hong Kong was estimated to be half to 1 million. Most were from Guangdong province. Some even came from other parts of China. The border crisis touched the top leaders of China. They realized the only solution was to initiate economic reform. A special economic zone was set up in Shenzhen, and the Shenzhen side of Sha Tau Kok became a frontier economic reform area. Businessmen in Hong Kong were invited to build plants here. In 1983, the Chinese government and the Hong Kong government reached an agreement to open Zhongying Street to residents from mainland. The trendy and great variety of products from Hong Kong were eye-openers to mainland residents who had lived in a closed economy for decades. People rushed to Zhongying Street for shopping. The street once received 100,000 visitors in one day. The checkup station became the customs. This photo shows the Hakka woman lining up on the bridge to pass the customs. It was the same bridge where this photo was taken. In 15 years, at this bridge, Hakka women went from meeting their family from afar to passing the customs of a shopping spree. That's the change the economic reform brought. This was the bridge in the 1970s. There was a checkup station at the bridge. From 1980s on, the checkup station was expanded many times. But it was not to stop people from entering. To the contrary, it facilitates visitors to enter Sha Tau Kok fast. Today, the process is similar to checking into the airport. As the Chinese economy grows, Zhongying Street is having a new problem. There are not as many visitors as before. It's because mainland residents are having more and more choices for shopping. Today, most people are not even aware of the existence of Zhongying Street. Many shops on the Hong Kong side are closed. Some people say Zhongying Street has no future. Do I agree? Depends on how that future is defined. If it means a popular shopping destination, I think the declining process is irreversible. But if it means a popular tourism destination, I think it has great potential. The beautiful coastal trail, the unique combination of Hakka culture and the coastal culture, the fish dance performance, the Hakka-style seafood, which I didn't find a place to taste, maybe a cruise trip from this dock on the Hong Kong side, which is still a closed area. There are a lot of unique and attractive things this area could offer, but currently is not offering to visitors. In next video, I'll show you the rich culture and history of Sha Tau Kok. I'll tell you the story of the Hakka village on the Shenzhen side and the Wu clan living in this village. I also talk about the 10 covenants the Hakka village formed and Donghe market they created. I even traveled to a village on the Hong Kong side that belonged to the 10 covenants. It was mind-blowing for me to see such a village in Hong Kong. I'm Yan Yan. I make videos about sites of interest in China and histories and stories behind them. Subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.